Tampa Bay.
Hey everybody, it's 8 o'clock. I'm Russell Rhodes.
And I'm Laura Moody. Good morning. We thank you for waking up with us on this Wednesday. It's January 31st. And let's get straight to Dave for a look at the forecast. Hey, Dave.
What a warm up. We're back to 48. Yeah, we upper 40s. Now, hey, you know, we talked about this being the coldest morning of the week, and indeed that's what's happening. So still 39 degrees in Crystal River. Everybody else in the 40s. You got 44 Wesley Chapel, 46 Bartow, 46 in Venice. It's going to be a nice mild day. We're running 4 to 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. It's a noticeable difference, but so will this afternoon as we have sunshine and a high of 67 degrees, and tomorrow even warmer with a high in the lower 70s. Vanessa?
All right, Dave, thanks. As we check in the road, seeing a morning commute that is overall fairly quiet incident-wise. We've had a few crashes here and there, not seeing any severe lane blockage here at this hour. A lot of the earlier stuff has cleared out. Checking in on majors, overall great levels of congestion relative to what we would expect for this time of morning. So live look Howard Franklin Bridge as we look towards the south, pretty quiet, just a few vehicles as well heading towards the northbound area. No backups that we're seeing near the hump, so that's some good news. If you are traveling on 75 around the area of Big Bend up to Gibsonton, some delays we're seeing in the northbound direction after a crash that's reported. Should be off onto an emergency shoulder, not blocking any travel lanes. Just remember that move over law passing through the area. Also still seeing some minor to moderate delay on Boyette Road near Lithia Pinecrest Road, scene of an earlier crash where we had some blockage reported.
$6 million. That's how much less Pinellas County Schools will have for its schools.
That's because it learned on Tuesday it will share its locally raised funds for construction and maintenance projects with charter schools. A judge denied the district's request to suspend payments while it challenged House Bill 7069. There is about to be another fight over an education bill, too. Last week, Republicans announced its 200-page House Bill 7055. Some lawmakers are calling it House Bill 7069 on steroids. This would allow one principal to oversee multiple schools. Plans to require teachers' unions to apply for recertification if their annual reports show that less than half of the members pay their dues. It also adds a new scholarship that would cover tutoring for third graders who failed state reading tests. Some Democrats say while that's a good idea, there is no oversight on how the money will actually be spent. And let's get back to Pinellas County, where some parents might get their way when it comes to high school start times. School board met yesterday to discuss making a change from 7:05 to 7:30 starting next school year. But for many, they say that's not late enough, pointing to specific scientific evidence. Parents showed up to the meeting with a petition that had more than 5,600 signatures from parents and students pushing for an 8:30 start time. In March, the school board will take up the issue again.
And this, if you had an emergency overnight, in a lot of places, 911 could not help you out. The system was down in several cities and counties across the Tampa Bay area. And now we're beginning to learn what happened. Kelly Cowan is live in Tampa to explain. This is scary.
This is scary. I talked to a representative from Frontier Communications not too long ago. They tell me this affected everywhere where they provide 911 service throughout the entire Bay Area. So Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Sarasota, and Manatee. If you were trying to call 911 this morning between the hours of about 1 and 1:50 in the morning, you got a busy signal. That's about 4 million people. So this is a widespread power outage for 911 as far as that goes. People just simply couldn't connect. And what was the problem? Frontier's telling me that it was a problem with some routine maintenance that was scheduled this morning. That took down their 2 servers. And when I ask what the backup method is for 911 servers going down like this, they say that is the backup method. They have 2 different servers, and that's supposed to effectively stop something like this from happening. They tell me that they've never seen something like this happen before. They are working on the problem. They're working to get to the root of it. But we had some major issues overnight that thankfully were able to get resolved. Those 911 calls able to come in before there was an issue. And I'm actually joined by the Tampa Police spokesman, Steve Haggerty here. And I understand that there was a drunk driver last night on our roads causing all kinds of mayhem. And thankfully, those calls came in just before you experienced outages.
Yeah, we had a wrong-way driver that caused a couple of accidents. It was a very dangerous situation. That call came in just a little bit before midnight, right around midnight. And I think the outage happened just a little while after that. So thank God we were able to get those calls and stop them.
And how long did this affect Tampa police here?
It was something short of 2 hours. My understanding is at about 1:50 a.m. It all came back on. It was a little bit after midnight when it went down.
What kind of an effect does that have on an agency like yours that you're trying to serve and protect, and 911 is really your outlet to people that need your service?
Yeah, I'm sure it was frustrating. If somebody called in, they basically got a busy signal, which is not what you expect when you call 911. We've been in contact with Frontier. They're taking it very seriously, and I'm sure they're going to do something to make sure this doesn't happen. They had a backup, and it failed.
Are you aware of anybody that was trying to call 911 and wasn't able to get through?
I can tell you that when it came back on, that we did not get any calls saying, I've been trying to call for the last 45 minutes. We didn't get anything like that, but I'm sure somebody called in. But my understanding is that, we weathered the storm, and when it came back on, we were able to respond to calls. But I'm not aware that there was anything that was tragic that we missed.
And as far as on their end, they're telling me they're kind of shuffling their feet, saying there's really no backup when this kind of thing happens. Are you aware of any sort of backup?
Well, it's lessons learned. I mean, I know that they did have a backup, and we were aware that they were doing some routine maintenance, which is routine. We don't expect it to go down. I'm sure they didn't either, but they're taking it very seriously, and they've been in contact with us.
Well, Steve, I'm grateful that they were able to, those people calling in about that wrong way driver were able to call in moments before the lines went down, and you were able to get that wrong way driver off the streets. I know that
gives you an idea how important it is that people be able to call in so that we can respond to an emergency like that.
Absolutely, it does. Well, we will be following up on this. I've been checking in with Frontier throughout the morning just to see exactly what's going on here and what their plans for the future are, guys.
Okay. Kelly, thank you. And we have this. A road was closed for several hours yesterday after a truck accidentally pulled down the power lines. Happened in Winter Haven. A truck with a crane on the back was going south on 2nd Street Northwest at Avenue D Northwest. Crane got stuck, pulled down the power lines, and the pole landed on top of the truck. Nobody was hurt. Tico came out and cleared the wires.
So let's begin tonight by recognizing that the state of our union is strong because our people are strong. And together we are building a safe, strong.
And with claps and standing ovations, President Trump made his first State of the Union speech, saying that he and his administration ushered in a new American moment. And we have Craig Patrick live with us this morning to talk about Donald Trump's big night last night. Craig, how'd he do?
Well, it was a very well-written speech. It was well delivered by the president. And with this, look for him to get a bump in his poll numbers. But only a slight bump at this point, because you have to remember that, hold on a second, I'm having some audio trouble. You have to remember that what the president is dealing with is that only his base will be watching this speech, because a lot of people who don't like the president won't likely tune in. If you're one of the president's critics, you're more likely to say, I'm not going to tune in at 9 o'clock last night to see exactly what his agenda is going to be. And that is one of the biggest challenges for any president, this president in particular. And with this, look for the president to get a bump, but you don't know what's going to happen 2 or 3 days down the road. He got a bump last year, the first time that he addressed Congress as the newly elected president, and then 3 days later, the narrative shifted to wiretapping because of a controversial tweet from the president. So all bets are off in terms of where we go from here, and we have a key deadline coming up February 8th, where we are on the cusp of yet another government shutdown if they don't strike a deal on immigration. And that's why the president spent so much time outlining the contours of what he hopes will be a compromise on that.
Yeah. Craig, let me talk about what he led with in the first few moments. He talked about a new tide of optimism. He got to the economy and jobs right away. What was his message there overall?
That the economy is booming and that he's taking credit for it. You know, one of the challenges here is that fact checkers often call out the president for exaggerations. For example, he said, here we have the United States being a net exporter of energy. Yes, it was a net exporter of energy well before he took office because of the fracking boom, for example. Point after point, he can be called out. For example, saying that this is the biggest tax cut ever passed, when in fact fact checkers can cite 2010, 2013 when it was enacted, 1981. The president has long said that he engages in something he calls truthful hyperbole. So while he may get docked on that by the fact checkers, his broader point is that the economy is doing very, very well under his watch and in his first year, and he is tying that to his decisions to roll back regulations as well as ultimately cut taxes and change the tax code. And with that, a lot of companies, not all, but many, have given bonuses to employees, and that's something that he wants to use to build on his next action points, which, among other things, besides immigration reform, involve a significant investment in transportation infrastructure.
Right. Political editor Craig Patrick, thank you.
Well, cutting off aid to Puerto Rico, why the government is surprised about that move.
Plus, 2017 was a busy year for hurricanes. How busy? We've got that coming up next. And she is helping others as a crossing guard. So let's help her. Coming up at 8:45, Jen tells us why you might want to vote for Debbie. It's the campaign to begin.
And we check in with Charlie Belcher. Should I bring Coco and Josephine over just to see what happens?
I think you should. I think you should. They might like to do a little duck diving. Let's send off Malachi. Come on, Malachi. We were at Florida, West Coast Air Dogs. Whoa! Nice, nice. And they say they can teach just about any dog to do this. Malachi, well done. Good job, Malachi. Florida West Coast Air Dogs in Bradenton. We got more high-flying dogs for you when Good Day Tampa Bay continues.
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
Well, this is a top 10 list no one wants to be on. The three big hurricanes of 2017, Harvey, Irma, and Maria, are now 3 of the 5 costliest hurricanes in U.S. history.
These storms brought widespread death and destruction to Texas, Florida, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Katrina, in 2005, remains the costliest hurricane on record, $160 billion. Last week, we told you that Harvey now comes in second, $125 billion in damage. Maria, third, $90 billion. And Irma is fifth at $50 billion. 2012 Sandy has been pushed down now to fourth place. FEMA ending food and water shipments to Puerto Rico 4 months after Hurricane Maria devastated the island territory. Puerto Rico's government was seemingly blindsided by this decision. Officials say both sides were still discussing a timetable for when Puerto Rico would take over distribution. FEMA says the emergency operation was the longest in agent history. It distributed more than $1 billion in food and water. But new shipments will officially stop today. A lot of places still don't have the lights on now.
No, they don't.
You know?
Isn't that unreal? They still don't have power.
I know.
We've got a beautiful, I mean, just crystal clear blue sky from the Riverview net camera as we look back to the coastline now. And you can see just how gorgeous it is. And we need all the sunshine we can get because it's chilly. No, it's not. It's cold. 45 in Apollo Beach, Brandon, Plant City, New Tampa, West Chase, all those numbers at 45. Still hanging on to 50 in St. Petersburg, but you better be next to the water. That's like the only spot. It's sitting at 50 degrees. Crystal River and Dade City are still both in the upper 30s at this hour. Mid-40s, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Mayaca City, down to Englewood, and some mid to upper 40s for those inland locations. So we really have that, just that wall-to-wall sunshine. Little bit of a wind, just enough of a wind to give us a hint of that wind chill, which is in mainly the lower 40s in spots, although we have had wind chills in the mid to upper 30s toward the north. One of those days, we're going to warm up very quickly, and by the afternoon hours, we're going to get back into the 60s, and we'll probably top it off close to 67 degrees today. So yeah, cold start, mild finish. Tonight, jacket weather again as we knock it back to 51 degrees. Tomorrow, though, we're going to kind of turn a corner on these temperatures. Notice how we bring it up to about 73 degrees for your high temperature for tomorrow. Still about an hour and a half left of our small craft advisory, although it does look like winds and seas are going to relax for boaters later this afternoon. And I'm going to take you right through the beginning of next week. Yes, we do have some showers around late Sunday night. Other than that, high temperatures go low to mid 70s and lows mainly back into the 50s. So I like it. Some comfy air settling in.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Dave, thank you. Quick check here on 275. We had pinpointed it in the last hour as an area of delay southbound heading towards downtown. Travel times are heavier than what we would expect for this time of morning, maybe about 5 minutes or so heavier than usual times. checking out the camera shot near Bush Boulevard. We did have reports of a crash around this area with no blockage, and I did check several cameras around here. I didn't see anything on the side of the road, but just throwing that out there at the very least will remind you once again of that move over law if you do see anything passing through the area or beyond. Otherwise, just really dealing with extra congestion for no apparent reason. Crash from our last hour is still causing blockage here out of the Tampa area. 50th Street and Causeway Boulevard. There's blockage there, as we mentioned, in the intersection. Possibility of some lingering delays. And in case you missed it from previous hours, depressions in the roadway. Citrus County drivers, Homosassa stretch of US 19. Northbound, southbound, the inside lanes are going to be closed at Jump Court, which is near Grover, Cleveland, and that's going to be through next week.
You know I always wanted to be an opera singer, right? I tried.
I mean, you were a chorus, weren't you a chorus major?
Yeah,
You're a music major?
I tried to be an opera singer. Didn't work. But I love the opera. So we're celebrating opera. It's opera season at the Straz, and we'll talk about this huge weekend's performance at 9 this morning.
Yeah, I know you always love bringing Judy Lisi in.
I do.
I know.
It's a lament how much we love it.
It's that time of year.
Look
All
at
right.
that.
But first, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, that was a dog. Charlie is with some furry friends this morning, and we're going to check in with him coming up next.
Good day, Tampa Bay. Lovely morning to sit by the pool, right? With a jacket on. It's warming up nicely, actually. The sun is coming up here in Bradenton. We are at Florida West Coast Air Dogs. It's Barb's place. You've been training dogs your whole life.
Yes.
How'd you get into this dock diving? Because they'll jump off that dock into the pool. How did you get into this specialty?
Well, I did agility for over 15 years and put titles on 7 dogs. And after I tore both meniscuses, my orthopedic doctor told me I needed a different sport.
Oh, okay.
So we started this with my Whippet. I have dogs that you'll see today are number 6 and 7 of the dogs I've trained of my own. Since we opened in 2013, I've trained over 100 dogs to jump.
Before you get into this, first of all, you're going to have a lesson, and you will do lessons to see if somebody's dog is into this.
Yes, they need to call me. We're on Facebook, we're online, on our website, get a private lesson, and then we'll be ready to put you into a class.
Who is this we're seeing now? Who's this standing by?
This is Samantha and her dog Begonia.
So that's Begonia?
Yes.
That's Begonia. All right. Let's go, Begonia.
Yay, come on, baby.
Oh,
good girl.
My goodness,
yes.
The air that she
good
got.
Girl.
Now,
good girl.
She went higher than she did farther. Do they get judged for that? That was some good height.
It depends. Some of they don't have to. Some dogs jump a little bit flat.
Begonia.
Some dogs have
Who's
nice pop, like Begonia does. We also will like to let everybody know the dogs you see jumping today have already qualified to go to UAD Nationals in St. Louis in September.
All right, who's this standing by? Who's our next dog standing by?
And next we have Allie and Siren.
And you can see how that dog is so excited. Oh, there they go.
Good girl. Now in big air, which is what we're doing now, the dog does not need to catch the toy.
Okay.
They do need to go in, get the toy, bring it back. That's part of their job. And dog and handler work together very efficiently.
You can tell that the dogs love it.
Oh, they do. They love it.
I mean, this is a thrill. This is fun for them. Now, is that Begonia back in place now?
Yes. Yes.
Wait, yeah. You know what? Hold on. Begonia was actually paying attention because I didn't say go yet.
Okay.
Begonia is the only one right here.
All right.
Begonia is the only one paying attention. All these humans are messing this up.
Good job.
All right. Now
she's ready.
Wait a second. Wait, because the trainer has to be at the end with the toy.
Trainer has to wait yet. She's coming in place.
All right.
Yep. They know their job.
Doing this on live TV is the hard part. The dogs
know
what they're doing. All right. Is everybody ready? All right.
Yeah, there we got it. Good job. Good job, baby.
That's so great. How many lessons should somebody expect before their dog might do that?
Their dog needs one private lesson, and then they go into a beginner class. If your dog has good toy drive and you have a great working relationship with your dog, very short amount of time for they're off the dock. But if some dogs learn like kids a little bit slower, and that does not mean they're not going to be successful. Just means they need more time, and we work on it.
Look at that.
Siren.
Look at that. That seems like a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. They love it, and as soon as the dogs come around the corner in their vehicles, they all start barking when they get here.
All right, so this was what are we going to do next, Barb? This was the distance, right?
Distance jump. We're going to show you what Fetch It looks like next.
Oh, what Fetch It looks like.
Fetch It is one of the IT games.
Nice. All right, there you go, folks. Where are we? I've lost control of everything. I'm throwing it back now. Jason, you want to look over here? Here I am. I'm glad. We need the training, basically.
That was great.
It's so true.
That was great. That was
the
so
dogs
much
are fine.
fun.
I got to keep training these humans.
That was so much fun.
I know.
All right. See you later.
All right.
All right. Did the shooter in the Las Vegas massacre act alone? Why a judge may have slipped and answered that question.
Plus, a virtual hug is better than none at all, right? How you can make sure a child gets theirs coming up at 8:45. We'll be right back.
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
8:30, and a Polk County gymnastics coach is in jail, accused of possessing child pornography. Sheriff Grady Judd says Alexander Kachloff admits downloading video that shows children as young as 3, but he denies ever touching any of these children. His parents own Elite World Gymnastics in Lakeland. That is where he worked. Sheriff says the 21-year-old admitted to viewing and downloading child porn at the gym. Detectives don't think they knew anything about this, even though he says he never touched any of the children at the gym. Sheriff wants parents to talk with their kids and make certain nothing happened. Race team doctor of 20 years was let go after a woman named Brianna made claims in a YouTube video that he abused her when she was a teenager. But Dr. Michael Riley has denied these allegations. Brianna says she worked in Riley's medical office and babysat for his family when she was 16, and that was about 10 years ago. Brianna says he started touching her, then tried kissing her. She never filed a police report, and detectives say now they're gathering the facts. Some think this burglary is an inside job. You can judge for yourself. Deputies say this man broke into Jet's Pizza on Bay Pines Boulevard in St. Pete about 2 weeks ago. Caught on video prying open the back door, he then went inside and stole $150 from the cash drawer before going back out from where he came. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers, and you could be eligible for an award.
It's not too late to get your flu shot, and CentraCare wants to make sure you get it done. From today until Friday, they are offering free flu shots. All you have to do is show up. Fox 13's Alcides Segui is live at CentraCare. This is on Fowler and Temple Terrace, and Alcides, this shows just how important it is that you get that free flu shot. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, you know what? It's not just this location on Fowler. I mean, there are several locations across the Bay Area. Again, it's CentraCare, and it's free all day today into tomorrow and Friday as well. They're expecting about 3,000 people to show up today at the area clinics, even more tomorrow. And, of course, I think the biggest crowd may be on Friday once the word gets out. Dr. Uzo, thanks so much for being with us. You've been talking to us all morning long. Move this chair for you. Come on over here. Thanks so much again.
You're welcome.
So last hour I got the flu shot. You know, it was fine. No big deal. I think a lot of people, I think you said it best, and including myself, you just get nervous once you see the needle, and just, you know, the anxiety starts to build up.
Yes.
Do you think that's why a lot of people don't get the flu shot?
Yes, there's a lot of, the main problem with it is a lot of people are scared of needles, just like you.
Yeah.
You see how it is?
Yeah.
But it wasn't such a bad shot.
No.
It's not very painful, yes.
Yeah.
That's one big reason
It's
why
the build-up.
The build-up. You're thinking of an injection, but we normally talk people through that. Those who have this anxiety about injections, when they come into CentraCare, we'll talk them through it, alleviate their fears, and just reassure them. And at the end of the day, they're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Another reason why people don't get the flu shot is like they feel that if they get the flu shot, it's not going to help them. They're still going to get the flu. You might still get the flu. However, you're not going to be as sick, and you're not going to have complications, unlike somebody who didn't get the flu shot.
Okay, so if I get sick and I'm sick for a long period of time, I'll come get you.
Yeah,
I want to come get you. You know, and we've seen, unfortunately, here in the Bay Area, we've seen, unfortunately, the flu impact a lot of schools. And you talk to teachers, you know, they're sanitizing the classroom, they're sanitizing the desks and the chairs and so on. And unfortunately, Calvary Christian High School in Clearwater, they were forced to close down on Friday, and they sanitized their entire building through the weekend. So it's impacting the school districts, not only Hillsborough County, but Pinellas, Pasco. I mean, it's statewide as well.
Yes, it is. It is. I heard about the Calvary Christian School. Once there's such an outbreak, sometimes they have to close down because a lot of the teachers are even sick, so they can't even provide the services for the kids. So if the kids come to school, there are no teachers to teach them, and it helps to just give them a few days and to sanitize, and then send out some information to the parents about protecting yourselves, getting the flu shots, washing, sanitizing, and that helps. So when everybody comes back, they're all much better and much more informed.
And if you have a fever, stay home, right, Dr. Uzo?
Very important.
That's very important, right? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So again, Central Care at several locations across the Bay Area. For more information, go to our website, fox13news.com. It's today, tomorrow, as well as Friday. They're open from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. All right, there it is.
Yeah. And you rolled up your sleeves. You got one today, right?
That's right. Got it done. Now, hopefully, I don't get sick. She guaranteed that if I get sick, it's going to be a couple days.
It's a medical myth. All right.
It is.
Thank you, Elsie. It is. All right. So the question now is, how is this flu becoming so deadly? This is what makes it so scary, right? According to an infectious disease specialist, it can be blamed on complications from the infection. In some cases, the flu can cause serious breathing issues and severe dehydration leading to death. In most scenarios, it's the bacteria that collects in the lungs, or bacterial pneumonia, and it impacts children the most because it cuts off oxygen to their little bodies. And another big problem is sepsis. That's when your body overreacts to an infection and causes your organs to fail. Now, those most at risk include children under the age of 5 and those who are 65 and older, women who are pregnant, and those with chronic medical conditions. Russell?
Thanks, Laura. It's 8:35, and here, listen to this. Is there a chance that there's a second person that was involved in the Las Vegas massacre and they're walking free? Just yesterday, a judge unsealed more than 300 pages of search warrants, giving us more information about the shooting on the Las Vegas Strip back in October. And one of those documents shows investigators have not ruled out that the shooter had help. And Walter's here now with a look at what this newly released documents show. This is something. Hey, Walter.
Yeah, Russell, not ruling out that the shooter had help. Not that there was a second shooter, but that the shooter possibly had help. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department has it written in black and white that, quote, until the investigation can rule otherwise, Mary Lou Danley and Douglas Haig have become persons of interest who may have conspired with the shooter to commit murder with a deadly weapon, end quote. 58 people were killed, dozens more injured when the shooter opened fire from a hotel above a country concert in Las Vegas. Douglas Haig, not a name we've heard before. In fact, the judge who released the document said Haig's name should have never gotten out. It was an oversight. He lives in Mesa, Arizona, spoke to reporters yesterday, told them that he sold the shooter ammunition and that he'd been contacted by investigators. He admitted to speaking with the shooter once, and that's when he sold him ammunition, but that he didn't actually know him. Now, we know the shooter traveled to a gun show in Arizona and 2 other places before the incident on October 1st. Mary Lou Danley was the shooter's girlfriend and was in the Philippines at the time of the shooting. When originally questioned, Danley insisted she didn't know anything about what he had planned. She was initially named a person of interest, but back in October, authorities said they didn't expect her to face any charges. Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo says that there was only one shooter that killed 58 people at the Route 91 Harvest Festival along the Strip. They know that. They do not doubt that. But the question is whether he acted alone. Earlier this month, Sheriff Lombardo admitted that the FBI had an open investigation into an unnamed person of interest, and that person could possibly face criminal charges. Shooter's brother, who lives in Orlando, says he doesn't know who Douglas Haig is and says he's never heard him or that name before. Haig is expected to hold a news conference on Friday, Russell.
All right, Walter. Thank you.
You bet.
And new this morning, a bill to help first responders receive mental health treatment has passed its first committee in the House. Right now, first responders must have a physical injury to qualify for workers' compensation. House Bill 227 would extend benefits to those dealing with psychological trauma. State fire marshal and family members of first responders, some of whom were lost to suicide, say current law forces first responders to stay on the job, even if they are not fit to do so.
Also unanimously approved in the House, a bill to require a qualified sign language interpreter during weather emergencies. This proposal comes after an interpreter failed to correctly sign a televised briefing about Hurricane Irma in Manatee County.
Hey, Dave. We're headed outside. Should I put on a coat or not?
Yeah, I think so. We're still in the 40s. Before we get to that, though, we saw the supermoon this morning. We saw the blue moon, obviously, this morning. But what we didn't see, I'm going to show you now. This is Griffith Observatory. NASA has this picture in Los Angeles, and you can see the total lunar eclipse. And I know what you're thinking, well, why isn't it completely gone? Some light does get through. That reddish, rusty color wavelength gets through, and that's what it looks like when you have a total lunar eclipse. Reason we couldn't see it? Our moon set at 7:18 this morning. But out west, look how beautiful that is. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous picture. Thank you, NASA. We love when they can send us beautiful, gorgeous pictures like this. I mean, look, it's pretty here, too. The Hudson Beach camera with the wall-to-wall sunshine that we have first thing this morning. I got 48 degrees in Tampa now, 50 in St. Petersburg, 45 in Sarasota, 43 in Brooksville, and we're about 4 to 9 degrees cooler than yesterday at this time, and it's incredibly dry. So with all the beautiful sunshine you could ever want and more, and the dry air, we are going to warm up quickly, and we'll get back to the upper 60s for highs today. Granted, that is a smidge below normal, but I also think this is the last time we're going to be in the 60s for a while. Yeah, we're going back up again. 51 the overnight low tonight. You'll need your jackets first thing tomorrow morning. And tomorrow's high temperature will be around 73 degrees. Hey, back to normal. But here's the thing. Instead of this big old roller coaster with temperatures, we're going to stay steady, right? In the low to mid 70s over the next several days. Low temperatures, mid to upper 50s, one lower 60s in there as well, and only one rain chance for you. We're kind of hedging our bets right now. We'll have to fine-tune it, but it looks like Sunday night. A couple of quick showers moving through. Hashtag We Live Here. Let's give away a Fox 13 Good Day mug to Billie Jean. Billie Jean this morning from the Coma sent this absolutely gorgeous picture. I believe Billie Jean was having lunch, and this bird stopped in to say hello, maybe trying to get a few scraps as well. And you know as well as I do, along the coastline, you go to any of those outdoor places, they sometimes have those strings, those wires to keep the birds from dive bombing your food. But we live here, can I tell you? Thank you, Billie Jean.
Those birds can get aggressive. I've already told my chicken finger story.
Yes, you have.
I have.
Yes.
With a seagull took it out of my mouth. It was literally like, and it went. Anyways. Dave, thank you. And thanks for sending that picture in, Billie Jean. Great picture. Hope you enjoy your mug. Roads are looking great. We have a incident that we're following here in the Pinellas County area, Omaha and Indiana. Blockage is going to be reported with this crash, but the good news is a lot of our crashes from earlier, they've cleared out the blockage. So really this is the only incident we're seeing that is concerned for travel lanes and folks that are going to be having to navigate around some big delays. Things are still a little bit slow on some of our majors, particularly around the downtown Tampa area, I-4. This is going to be just outside where it comes together with 275. Westbound direction is of course where we have all those backups we're seeing. We don't have any crashes to report in the area, just waiting for that rush hour to clear out. It looks pretty good though in the eastbound direction.
Well, a local crossing guard is up for Crossing Guard of the Year.
Jen Epstein is hanging out with her at Fish Hawk.
Hey, Jen.
Hey guys, good morning. You know, when you're a student, some students get a ride to school from their parents, others take the bus to school, but if you go to Fish Hawk Creek Elementary School, then you are taking the magic carpet ride to school. Coming up, meet the crossing guard, making the walk to school safe and fun for everyone, and hear how you can help her get a very prestigious award after the break.
You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
With crossing guards, it's all about safety first, but one woman adds in a smile, high five, even a hug, and it makes all the difference.
Yeah, a local crossing guard is in the running right now for a national title. A national title. And those who know her say she truly deserves it. Fox 13's Jen Epstein is live near Fish Hawk Elementary with why we all want to vote for Debbie, right?
Oh, that's right, Laura. Have a wild, wacky, wonderful Wednesday. That's what Debbie Caputo has been telling students and some of the parents all morning long as she's been helping guide them to Fish Hawk Creek Elementary School. School is in session, so her work is done for the morning, and she's hanging out with us to tell us a little bit about this very cool honor. Good morning, Debbie.
Yes. Hi.
You're still in shock a little bit, aren't you?
I know this is a little bit crazy, but it's been a really fun thing. A lot of people have known about it, and it's been really cool having parents and students going, "I voted for you," out the car windows
People
or
are
in the
beeping
store.
their horns as they go by, screaming out of the school windows.
Absolutely, it's been a real fun to
So for
do
viewers who don't know, you're one of 55 crossing guards across the country being nominated through SafeKids.org. SafeKids.org, that's how you can vote for Debbie. Voting ends at 11:59 p.m. tonight.
Right. Hey, if we can vote and get the excitement for the kids in the school and all of that, that's what I would love to see happen. We have a ways to go, but I have faith just in the Fishhawk area that there's enough people that if you vote and you can vote multiple times on multiple devices, we could make this happen.
So, of course, it's safety first, but you also put a little twist to it. You're doing a lot of fun things for these kids every morning. Talk to us about a typical morning for you.
Well, typically I get here about 15-20 minutes before the kids show up, just in case there's some early risers. And then when they come, they've known since the beginning of school that I have taught them that they need to stay behind my magic carpet because the magic keeps them safe. And then if they try to cross before I say the magic words of okie dokie, there are consequences. I give them a great big hug and they know I'll do it. So once I say okie dokie, they cross the street. They know they're supposed to walk, and we have a great time doing it every morning. And even when parents come that don't know the rules, I get the kids involved in teaching either the new families or the parents. Yep. So we have a great time.
And you've been doing this for 8 years. What do you love most about it?
I love the kids. I love the families. This was a really great way for me to get to know my neighborhood and get to know the people that live here. Unfortunately, we have a lot of turnover because military moves in and out. So there's always someone new to meet and always someone new to get to know and love on and hopefully make them feel welcome, because coming to a new school is a big scary experience. So my job, or at least the blessing I consider my job, is to make them have that warm feeling when they first hit my crossing.
Well, it is a success because I've seen a lot of smiles this morning, Miss Debbie. Thank you so much for talking with us, and congratulations for being nominated, and good luck.
Thank you.
So one more time, you have until 11:59 this evening to vote for Debbie Caputo. It's on the SafeKids.org website. We also have it on the Seen on TV section of our website, fox13news.com. You've got over 800 votes. They're going to pick the top 5, whoever has the top 5 most votes, and then the judges with Safe Kids will vote for number 1. Whoever gets that, hopefully it's Debbie. They get a pep rally at the school, $500 reward for the school. She gets lots of prizes. The kids get lots of prizes. Vote for Miss Debbie.
Woo! Absolutely.
Love that.
Back to you guys.
You know, it's so fun to be around someone who loves what they do. You know, who just emits this internal happiness. Yes. All right. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, it's contagious. You're welcome.
All right, a little virtual love can go a long way for children who are sitting in a hospital. And the Cincinnati Children's Hospital wants to make sure the kids get plenty of it. They're letting people from across the world fill out online Valentine's Day greetings that will then be distributed to all of the patients in the hospital. And for a majority of these little ones, it's the only Valentine they'll get. They can't exchange Valentines with other kids. They can't go to the parties. And a lot of them can't eat sugar. So for them, the hope is that this will be sweet enough.
Great idea.
It is a great idea.
Boy, is Charlie having fun.
I know. Well, who wouldn't with high-flying dogs?
Abe could do this. Abe could do this.
I would love to see it. I would love to see. You think Abe could do this, Charlie?
Oh, I said I like what I do, and I admit happiness.
You are.
Yeah, Abe could do this. Sure. They say they could teach any dog to do this. Almost any dog, I guess. You just got to come out here and take a private lesson first, and they'll evaluate and see whether your dog's got it and whether you got it. Because, you know, humans are the ones that take the most training. We've been talking about the duck diving, and that's really for distance. Doesn't matter if the dog catches a toy. The toy is thrown to get the dog to jump. But when we come back, we're going to talk about this other game that is fetching, where they've got to actually get that off of the little stand as they're jumping high through the air. Florida West Coast Air Dogs in Bradenton will put the dogs to the test when Good Day Tampa Bay continues. Good day, Tampa Bay. I'm Charlie Belcher coming to you from Bradenton, from Florida West Coast Air Dogs. And I hear a dog who's a little excited. There's Barb over there. Barb, who you got with you?
This is my Malinois Torque.
Torque is excited.
Yes, he is.
Now-
and we're going to do fetch it. It's
Okay.
our game. And they're going to be asked to mark it, to look at it.
All right, you
We're
got-
going to the back and fly up and grab it.
So you're showing him this target, and that's the target hanging right there.
Well, you want that thing? You want it bad? Do you want it?
You want that?
Yes, go get it. Let's go get that thing. Good boy, right here. Here. Sit.
All right.
Sit. Stay. 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 You stay. Stay.
We're all staying at this point.
Stay. Turkey here.
Oh,
Get
oh.
it!
Oh!
Good man. Well
Yeah,
done.
Torque, you
Good
did
boy.
it.
Bring it home, dude.
You did it,
Come on, baby.
Torque.
Hurry. Good boy. Good boy.
I love that.
Good boy.
I'm
try
now
to head
going
him
to
off.
fill time until
Easy,
Barb
easy.
comes around here because another dog is not quite ready yet. How you doing? By the way, water is quite warm. The water is quite warm. I know the air is a little chilly, but they get a nice warm towel as soon as they get out of the pool. Now, okay, they've reset. We got a new target here. Barb, you okay? I'm losing Barb. That's okay. Well, I don't need Barb because I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. That dog right there is looking at the target. Oh, that dog can't wait. I don't know that dog's name. Barb, what's this next dog's name? Siren.
This is Siren.
All right, Siren's getting ready. Siren. I feel like I could be maybe a commentator for this. And here goes Siren. Siren leaps in.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job.
Oh, now wait a second. I'm going to have to throw a flag on the play. Siren fumbled. That was not a complete catch. That was not.
Good job.
Nope, I'm blowing the whistle. That was not a complete catch. Barb, does it have to be a complete catch?
They have to knock it down.
Oh, so that would have counted.
Yes, they have to knock it down with their foot, their mouth, whatever. It has to come down.
So it doesn't. Okay, so that would. All right, then I take it back. I'm picking up the flag.
Yay!
I'm picking up the flag. That's fine. Are we going to attempt to do another one, Barb?
Yes.
All right. So we're resetting. we're resetting the target.
All right, you're
Resetting
ready.
the
Watch
target.
it. All right, just a minute.
We have 30 seconds left. No problem. No
Okay.
problem.
Pull them back
Plenty
to
of time
14.
to accomplish this. Florida West
14,
Coast
back
Air
them up.
Dogs in Bradenton, by the way. If you
You're
want to
good, you're
get your
good.
dog involved with this. They've got
14,
beginners
turn it
all the way up
around.
to people who compete all around the country.
Steady.
These sort of things. Got 15 seconds. Gotta get that target
Come
in
on,
place.
dudes.
Get that target in place. All right.
Ready? Set.
Oh, the target's still moving. This is going to be a challenge. And
Let's try.
you know what? That's our fault.
Toss it in. Toss
That's
it in.
our fault, dog. You know what? That didn't get settled. That's on us, baby. That's on us. Stick around, everybody. More Good Day Tampa Bay right after this.